y'all? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Throwback Tuesday, where we create looks using older eyeshadow palettes from my collection that are always chosen by you. And this week our winning palette is the Secret Garden palette from Bella Beauté Bar, and this is the perfect spring color story. It is pink, it is green, you have some neutrals in here, and I am so excited to play with this because if you have been here, then you already know that Bella Beauté Bar is one of my absolute favorite indie brands. So I will have everything linked and listed for y'all down below in that description box. So as always, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check the description box because I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's zoom in, prime my eyes, and get into creating our look. So per usual, my eyes are primed with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly, and for today's look, we are going to do a combination of both pinks and greens, and kind of what I'm envisioning is greens on like the inner portion of my lid fading into pinks on the outer corner. So I don't know exactly what combination of shades I want to use, but I do know I definitely want to put this towards my inner corner. So we're going to go ahead and start with that shade. That one is called Water Lily. So I am going to pick that up with a BK Beauty 211 brush, and I'm going to start by kind of pressing this right here in my very inner corner and kind of blending it up onto my lid, bringing it into my crease as well, and just kind of bring it down onto my lower lash line as well, just kind of wrapping it around the very inner portion. So I'm just going to keep building it up a little bit more, kind of fading it over towards the outer corner, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye as well. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Rose, and I'm going to pick that up with a Morphe M506 brush, and I am just going to start to press this right here in my crease, bumping it up to that green shade, and then where those two shades come together, I'm going to kind of press my brush. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to blend or do anything like that because I don't want them to mud up. I don't want one to disappear into the other. I just want them to kind of mesh together, and then I'm going to kind of bring this all the way over towards my outer corner, just building up a little bit of depth and definition in my crease, being more like a traditional transition shade for this look. And then I'm also going to bring this down onto my lower lash line as well. So I'm just kind of mirroring everything that I have going on up in my crease down on my lower lash line. So to deepen up this outer corner, we're going to go into this shade right here, which is called Strawberry, and I'm going to pick that up with a Morphe M453 brush, and I'm just going to start to kind of pack it right here on my outer corner, bringing it about halfway over, not quite as far over as that green shade is over here, but I definitely want to have some depth and some darkness going on out here, just a little bit of contrast. So I'm just going to kind of build it up to what I want it. Again, I'm going to bring that down onto my lower lash line as well, just kind of wrapping everything around. And I think we might go in with that really dark brown shade and kind of add a little bit more depth in the very outer portion of my outer quarter of my lid. But for now, I am just going to kind of blend everything together, make sure that we don't have any harsh lines going on, and everything just blends seamlessly from one shade to the next. But I think what I'm going to do before I move on to the other eye is go back in with a little bit of that shade Rose and just go right along the very edge of that shade that I just put down. Just kind of soften everything a little bit, give a better blend, get rid of any harsh lines, and make sure that we have everything very cohesive and blended. So with a Sigma E33 brush, I'm going to go into this dark brown shade up here, which is called Mahogany, and I'm going to use that to just deepen up my outer corner just the tiniest bit. So I'm just going to press it right here on the very outer corner, and I'm going to wrap it around down onto the very outer portion of my lower lash line. So I'm not taking it very far over. I'm not letting this get away from me. I'm just adding a little bit of depth out here, and if it does kind of get away from you, you can always go back with the previous shade that you used and kind of go over top and blend it out just a little bit more. It'll kind of soften any depth that you added and kind of reiterate that shade. I just want to put it right out here. I kind of wish I had something a little bit deeper in this palette to do it with, and I could have brought in something else, but this is getting the job done. It's giving me what I want. But I'm going to go ahead and finish doing this, prime my eyes with my NYX glitter primer, and we're going to pop some shimmers all over the lid. So as far as shimmers on the lid go, I want to keep it pretty light, and I think I want to keep the same kind of gradient effect going on with the shimmers that I have with the mattes. So I'm kind of toying with the idea of these two shades right here. So the first shade is going to be this one, which is Oasis, and the other one is going to be Daydream. So I'm just going to swatch these two shades out. Ooh, I think those are going to look so pretty on the lid. So this one is going to be Daydream, and this one is going to be Oasis. I think those are going to look beautiful on the lid. lid. But then I'm also looking at the shade Butterfly as well, and I kind of like this one a little bit more than Oasis. I think it's going to make things pop just a little bit more. So which shades do I want to do? That's always my issue. I can never decide what shimmers I want because I want to use them all, truthfully. So with that being said, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and start with this one right here, and then I'm probably going to go with my first gut instinct, and we're going to go with Oasis. So we are going to start with the first shade, which is called Daydream. I'm going to pick that up with my, where are you? My BK Beauty 203 brush. I washed it. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to pop this on the outer half of my lid. So I'm not going to bring it all the way over because I do want to go in with that green shade on the inner portion. Whoops, I sprayed that the wrong way. So I'm just going to spray it a little bit right there and pop it right here in the very center, kind of blending it over to this outer portion. Now, since this has a little bit of a translucent base to it, I'm not going to need to bring in anything dark to kind of blend everything together because it's going to do it itself. So I'm just going to keep building that up to the opacity that I want. I'm pressing, I am not swiping, and once I have it down, I can go back right in the crease with that brush and make sure that everything is soft and blended and we don't have any harsh lines. So with that same brush, I picked up the shade Oasis. I'm going to give it a spritz again, and I'm going to pop this right here on the inner portion of my lid, bringing it over to the inner corner, but I want to leave the inner corner matte, so I'm not going to bring it all the way over. I'm just going to blend it into that first shade that I put down, and then I'm going to pop on some liner and mascara, and I will come back and show y'all the completed look. Alright y'all, so this is our completed look, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I love the combination of the pink and the green. I think the shimmers are beautiful on the lid. It is the perfect spring look, and I'm excited that I get to wear this for the rest of my day. But let's go over what I used to finish off this look. So of course we can turn the lights down, see the shimmer, the shift, the sparkle, and close out this video. So in my lower waterline, I went in with an LA Girl pastel liner. This is in the shade Magic Mint. I lined my lid with my ZC liquid liner, and for mascara, I went in with my Too Faced Ribbon Wrapped Lash Mascara. Alright y'all, so that is going to complete this week's Throwback Tuesday video, and as always, I hope you enjoyed it and were able to draw just a little bit of inspiration from today's look. But let me know all of your thoughts down below in that comment section. Let me know if you have this palette in your collection, if you plan on picking it up, which palette you voted for, and what you thought of the look. I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. And until my next video, have a good one. Bye.